The return to the main series of Slime was everything you could probably want. This is one of those episodes that had it all. While certain elements were more prominent than others, I mean, you got a little bit of action, you got hilarious comedy, you get Veldora just kind of arguing why he's best boy, and it's hard to ignore and refute what he's saying because honestly the chaotic energy of craziness is hard to say, you know what, I disagree, there's other better characters. Right now, all eyes are on Veldora, and rightfully so. They gave Shion the ability to cook with her master chef ability. You never could have told me this was going to happen walking into this season. I'd say you're absolutely crazy, and you might have been poisoned by Shion's cooking if you think her food can taste good. But honestly, this is one of those episodes that just, it makes you glad to see Slime back in action. And Slime never actually left. I mean, last season we have the Slime Diaries that maybe a lot of main series Slime fans didn't check out. Highly recommend. It makes you appreciate Season 2 all the more because you get more connected with the characters, and you get to appreciate the Nation of Tempest even more than if you just watched the main series. But the main series is finally back, and what was going to happen after the revival of so many? We have Rimuru being Demon Lord, Veldora is now in human form. I mean, what type of chaotic energy is going to occur? And they pretty much set in motion that Rimuru is in a very good spot. While there's definitely going to be a lot of eyes on him, probably way more dangerous foes will be thrown his way. In terms of going after Clayman, negotiating other treaties maybe, things like that, he's probably in arguably the best position ever, but also you might be able to argue the worst. I mean, the entire reason he kept Veldora a secret because he thought it was going to take 100 years to get him out. And, I mean, for 100 years you really want to be watching over your shoulder every which direction. So the fact that he's in good with, or was good with Milim, probably still is, it's still kind of up in the air what's going on there. He has Veldora, who everyone worships, on his side. He's a Demon Lord now, and we have Diablo, we have just the Nation Tempest in general. Dwarven Kingdom seemingly still on the good side. After the end of the episode with Father Dearest over here coming in, was about to destroy up the kingdom, but then realized, oh no, his daughter's A-okay. So we might end up getting more allies there. Like, all things considered, Rimuru's in a very good situation. And even if he's definitely going to have more daggers thrown his way because of all these circumstances, he's definitely in better than he was in, you know, late into part 1 of season 2, right? When everyone literally got killed and it was uncertain what was going to occur, right? I just love the build-up and just, like, seeing the energy. I mean, I thought Milim was already enough chaos for Slime. You introduce Veldora in human form, and this guy is just going off about how they are the invincible BFFs, and honestly, it's hard to say otherwise. This man not only has ridiculous power, but the way he can just charm you, and I feel like part of his charm is that you're kind of like, if you really were interacting with a character like Veldora, even if you thought he was an absolute lunatic, you wouldn't ever say that to his face because of the power he possesses. You just kind of smile and nod as you kind of slowly creep away. I just really have a good feeling about Veldora as well as Rimuru's interaction. The most we've had over basically ever since he left the cave was someone like Veldora looking in and observing Rimuru, reading far too many mangas by the looks of it, and you get kind of like Ifrit as well as Veldora kind of talking. I mean, last week's recap was actually pretty good. It's actually a solid recap, all things considered. So to finally have them, like, on equal playing fields, it feels like, you know, they're pretty much similar in stature and power, so it's like, it's not the same as when they're in the cave. I think there's going to be a lot of really interesting interactions that will occur on top of the wild card that is someone like Diablo, on top of all the general alliances and friendships he's made. I mean, it just seems very exciting to see Rimuru take charge, saying, we're going to take the fight to Clayman, we're going to rescue who I promised, we're going to do this and that. And you really just feel like this is a different Rimuru. Of course, he still is that bubbly, cute character, but in terms of being serious, he understands he can't sit idly by. He saw what happened when he did just that. A lot of people got killed, and if it wasn't for a multitude of things happening in just the right way, they would have stayed dead, right? He made mistakes. If it wasn't for Diablo, he probably would have ended up dead. There's a lot of things at play that has clearly changed Rimuru's character without making him feel like a drastically different person. I think that's going to please both sides, those who want serious Rimuru and those who want Rimuru as he always was, right? And that's what's really great. I mean, you sprinkle in something that felt very similar to even what I pulled from the Slime Diaries, a lot of banquets, a lot of festivities, Shion cooking arguably probably the worst dish I've seen, while arguing why it's okay to use a sword as a cutting utensil, and to see that it actually tastes fantastic, looks horrible, and she needs to improve visually. But the fact that her new skill is a master chef, everything she cooks will be how she sees it in her head. Thank God. I mean, I feel like poison resistance would eventually not be able to keep up with that type of cooking. But I actually found it quite interesting to see that Rimuru has like 4 giant skills now after everything that's occurred. I mean, Rimuru seems like a powerhouse, so I'm really interested to see what it's going to look like when he goes up against truly dangerous foes, and just what Raphael and things like that will be able to do. I mean, you kind of get like a bit of a banter there. Oh, hey, can you only tell me when enemies are approaching? And then you kind of realize, okay, maybe I need a bit more information. There's going to be like a new learning curve, it feels like, with Raphael, with the evolution from Great Sage to Raphael. So it would be fun to see what's going to happen and what type of pros and cons will come with the new skill set, because I could easily see some of these not going according to plan because it is kind of like a brand new playing field after becoming the Demon Lord, right? Overall, Slime comes back. It does everything that Slime has done to date, except I guess kill a character, but I think we've had enough of that in part 1 for right now anyway. Clayman's a different experience, you know, if you want to do that, a-okay. But still, it just felt like this was a fantastic return. I mean, I was actually curious if it would take me a bit to get introduced to the character designs again, because both Slime Diaries as well as the main Slime anime, they have vastly different character designs. All of them were an easy transition right away. The only one that actually was a bit weird for me was Geld. I actually prefer Geld in the Slime Diaries, but I mean, it makes total sense to have him look a bit more orcish in the main series given everything that's happened. I'll say as well, the opening and the ending, I both really enjoyed sound-wise. The opening's visuals were nothing to write home about, but the thing that actually caught me off guard with the opening sound-wise was the drumming. It's rare you can come out of any sort of opening that's not really rock or metal themed, but have the drumming be a relevant thing that really catches your attention. And honestly, I probably will never I may not always watch the opening, but I'll always listen to the opening, given how much I like the music. But the ending was a surprisingly nice, kind of like tranquil experience. Love the visuals on that. And the song itself was actually rather kind of like, it's a nice way to wrap up, I think, Slime, and given how dark we know the series can get, I think that ending will be a nice, like, reliever should we experience anything even close to what we saw in part 1. And honestly, I just have a really good feeling about part 2. I mean, it's not going to be non-stop chaos, I know that. But at the same time, I really feel like with what part 1 did, and given what I just saw with Rimuru and how he was interacting, I have a very good feeling about the evolution of all the characters this season. And while of course you still have the cute and funny and how everyone blesses Rimuru-sama and they'll always believe in him, it definitely feels like the game has changed, and that's exactly what Slime needs in its part 2. And who knows, I mean, next week is going to be a meeting for sure, but you never know what type of insanity can pop up at a moment's notice. I mean, just look at Milim's entrance back in Season 1, right? It's great to be back, definitely one of my more anticipated shows. 3 straight seasons of Slime. If they end this season with either a confirmation of Slime Diaries 2 or Season 3 for next year, the year after, I will be jumping for joy, but nonetheless, 2021 has been letting us eat good in anime, especially if we like the Slime series, and yeah, it's been fantastic, and I can't wait for more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this episode, your theories, your predictions. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.